What do black people think of white people in general?
Okay, wait.
You guys could get a date. Could be good for you. If you do, you owe me one. Okay. We are going to do, this is a good time to record. The U.S. is systemically racist. But before I do that, how do you define systemically racist?
White privilege.
How do you define systemically racist?
I define it as not, for all systems, not allowing equality.
Not allowing equality.
Not treating one as equal as another person.
What do you mean? One race?
Yeah, one race as equal.
Okay. How do you define it?
A system that is designed for a specific race or ethnicity to fail in life.
A system that is designed for a system that, sorry?
A system that's designed for a specific race or ethnicity to fail in life.
Thank you. The U.S. is designed to privilege white people. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. Okay. You strongly agree. Tell us why you strongly agree.
Because
Tell him over there.
I strongly agree that U.S. is designed to privilege
You
white
can
people.
move at any time as long as you commit to one. Okay.
I just feel like if we go through like what we've gone through the last couple years, especially in the U.S. with the black people us getting shot by the police officers, as black people, we have a better chance of being institutionalized more than a white person doing the same crime.
Institutional, you mean like in prison?
In prison, being homeless, not being able to move up, whereas a white counterpart would be in the same predicament but have a better chance of getting out of their circumstances.
Okay, so I want to make sure I understood. So like being shot by the police is one, and what did you say, homelessness? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Homelessness, okay. So why do you believe that?
Why do I believe it?
Yeah.
Most likely because we built this country for free, and we still haven't gotten the respect or
Tell him so he can hear too.
tell them.
Well, just because I want them to hear, because they might have to respond to what you say.
I feel like we did so much work for this country over the last 400.
We being black people.
Right. We built this country for free. Nobody paid my mother, grandmother, nobody for picking cotton and doing all the work that benefits y'all. And now we still getting treated like shit. And this is pretty much our country like it is y'all's. But it's like we're foreigners still. It's like we don't get the respect we deserve. And we're African American and we did all the work for free.
Okay. Did you want to add to that or comment on that in any way?
Yeah, I think a really big problem with the system and how it's designed for white people to win is that they not only set it up for them to have the best chance at life, at a successful life at that, but they understand that black people and brown people have a hard time, earning an honest life and avoiding a life of crime when
You're earning an honest living. Okay.
honest living and avoiding a life of crime in their area when their area is infested with crime and I guess with resources that would lead them into prison and not doing anything about it, not changing the system, not, trying to make things more equal.
What would the resources look like to help those communities?
The resources would be, first of all, awareness. I think that all it takes is for us to have this conversation with young black and brown adults and to let them know that they have other opportunities in life and that they don't have to resort to a life of crime in order to survive.
Okay. All right. So, did you hear anything he said? You did?
I did.
Do you agree with what he said?
Yeah.
Tell him, what did he say? Can you summarize what he said?
He pretty much said we still are not where we're supposed to be after 400 and something years. It's just not set up for us to win.
Because of crime, which is what she said,
Look at
right?
Bank of America. They was doing stuff for us to make it harder for us to get a mortgage versus when you come, they ain't even probably going to ask you for
Who,
that.
me?
Yes, because you're white.
Oh, because I'm white.
They're going to ask us for all these things and impossible stuff that we can't produce, so we can't get it. Versus you probably just can come in there with your ID and no tax, no nothing, and they'll say, okay, Peter got it.
You remembered my name. That's flattering. What do you think about all this?
I think it's all true. I mean, I don't want to say all white people are the same. That's why I said agree. But majority of them, they see us as a threat. I feel like.
If white people became equally, I'm gonna step over here. If white people became equally institutionalized, would that change your mind? Would that move you on a line?
No. The goal isn't for white people to be equally institutionalized. It's to uplift the black community and give them the same opportunities that white people have today. It's not to bring down another race to our level, but to lift our race up.
Do you think it's the issue is on race lines or on class lines? Because you mentioned the economy and people not having, like, why do you think that that's on racial lines and not on economic lines?
Well, it goes hand in hand because a lot of black people are born into poverty.
Right.
So they associate being black with being in poverty. And the only way that we're going to change that is if we, as a people, understand that we can make a better life for our children by breaking that that generational curse.
And to do that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, I'm trying to understand this. To do that, those communities need adequate resources.
Adequate resources, talking about these situations with young black Americans, letting them know that they can be doctors, that they can be lawyers, that they can be x-ray technicians, and all of these other things that I was never told that I could be in school.
You were never told that?
I was told mostly that you want to have to be the captain of the basketball team because I'm 6'4" and not because I'm a doctor.
Guy,
yeah, but really I went on to become a radiologic technologist, you know.
Good for you, man.
And a lot of people don't understand that we could be those things, but I'm here today trying to, you know, spread the word and have this conversation with you about this.
Okay.
I like that.
You like that?
Yes, I do.
She's not even playing and we got her on. So you've been quiet over here. Maybe the English is a issue, but what do you think about that?
I will be precise. I really keep on neutral because I have never been on the US and I cannot really talk about the situation of white people and black people. Yeah, there's some Latinos and I have seen videos and things, but I will keep with that. I really can't talk about things I really don't.
And that's why you're on the
I have never been on that.
yeah. And that's why you're on the neutral line.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I have seen videos and they are strong videos of races, but
That's-
I really don't wanna like. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm going to go off of what he said a little bit. It's much better.
Yeah.
So one of the things you said, and I want to make sure I understand it. Don't let me put words in your mouth. So you said the police were an issue, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
I was using that as an example because, you know, you can have a black person and a white person
Yeah.
doing the same crime.
Yeah.
But because we're in society, we're already looked at as a threat, we're already looked at as like dangerous, we're most likely to get a bigger charge than...
Oh, like in the court.
Yeah.
Oh.
Being institutionalized more than our white
You'll get 10
counterparts.
years and the white lady gonna get 2.
Yeah, so it's like it's the same crime, but because of the different skin tone.
And it's not because of economics.
I
Is
also
that?
agree. It's also
Sorry.
classism too, because you know.
Oh, so it's both
it's
class
both.
isn't
It's every
economics.
system that I believe they go hand in hand.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So two things. So do you think that the police treat you? So you just said, and don't let me put words in your mouth, that the court system treats black people unfairly. Is that correct? And you think the police treat black people unfairly?
I think, like any other, I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think there's a lot of good people in the police force. I think if they did an adequate research of like why is someone fulfilling this career, but to be honest, I think it's both a mix, good and bad.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to those, but I just want to. Do you think the university system treats African Americans unfairly? Discriminates against them from getting in, like Harvard or whatever, or not even necessarily Harvard, but wherever.
I would say, I would think so.
Okay, can we go back to the crime, because that's interesting
Yeah.
to me. Okay, so I'm not a cop. Don't know about policing, just so that you know. So like, are more unarmed black people or white people killed by the police?
Oh, black people. Like
But-
our institutions are more filled with black people and black people with struggling with mental illness because one, we're already stigmatized, or not stigmatized in our culture. We don't believe in a lot of the mental illness, which
What do you mean whose culture?
like black people. At least for me,
Oh.
mental illness isn't talked about. It isn't like, something that is, dealt with. Or we don't have the adequate resources to get the help.
So that's a
whereas
cultural thing.
it's a culture, but it's also an economic thing, which is, if someone is homeless, struggling with mental illness, they don't have the medication or resources. to
Oh,
get
okay.
The resources, which leads them in jail,
That's what he was saying. The resources.
leads them to be institutionalized.
Okay, so two things. So, and I'm trying to understand here. Hold on once again. Hold on. I'm keeping a lot of stuff in my head. Hold on. So I got three things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I want to make sure I treat everything fairly. We got the universities that discriminate against black people. We've got the court system, which I'll get to in a second, hopefully, and we've got the police.
Mm-hmm.
And there are more unarmed. How many? Like roughly, And I'm not a cop, so.
I'm not a
Just
cop either.
you're not a cop. No, and no. He's a radiologist. Nobody's a cop here.
And we're taught not to trust them.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. So, like, how many unarmed white people, if you were to guess, and how many unarmed black people were killed by roughly?
I mean,
What'd you say?
there's a
Say
whole
again?
lot.
90-10.
But like
90-10?
think about what's already been shown or what's been happening. How many white people have you seen down the street, unarmed, got shot by a cop? There's a bunch of black people who's minding their business that have got shot by the cops.
Okay.
And if I can
Yeah,
jump
absolutely.
in there,
100%. Please.
how many? I want to ask you a question.
And you can ask me anything you want.
How many times or cases have you heard of white people being armed to the teeth with military-grade weapons, going into schools and shooting up all of these children's and old people and targeting specific audiences? And how many of those people do you see get taken peacefully, and still survive that? And then just take a second to compare that to a black person who is unarmed and is still shot by police.
I could be wrong about this, but I don't really see many black people shooting up schools. Or am I wrong?
No. You're right on the head.
So I can't really answer that question.
But see, that's the thing, though. I was asking you more so about the white people who shoot up schools versus the unarmed black people that get killed anyway for not being armed.
Oh, the selling cigarette. Yeah.
If I was a white person, I went and I shot up a school now, and I put the gun down and I threw my hands up, I'm gonna get taken in safely. As opposed to me being let me be a black man and do the same thing. I'm getting shot on sight because
Even if you had like your hands up like that?
even if I had my hands up.
You think so too?
Yeah.
Number one, Philando Castile. He had a very clear conversation with the police officer about him being armed, about him having all of his papers, and asking calmly, can he reach and grab his identification, his FOID identification? And he went and grabbed that, and they shot him still. So it's like you follow all of the directions that they tell you. You ask for permission, you move slowly, and then you still get shot. Yeah. So from our perspective, it's like, okay, well, what do you want at this point?
She said something like that about in the black community, and I'm asking because I don't know. Are black people in large, maybe young black males more, are they taught to not trust the police?
Yeah. As a young black man, there's a few things that you're taught, and I won't go really too deep into it, but just that first of all, you're a young black man. This system is not designed for you. This system is designed for you to fail. So you're going to have to work 10 times as hard as the next white person next to you so that you can stand out enough in order to matter in this world, in order to make a living. And you can't cry about it. That's another thing, because nobody cares.
Okay, look, this is very, very important. I wish I could take my glasses off, but the sun is killing me. I'm going to do it anyway. This is very important. What would the system have to look like so that young black men in particular, but black people in general, particularly black men, what would the system have to look like so that young black men wouldn't be told that and feel that?
I honestly don't really believe that it starts with the system. It really starts with the people and the hearts of the people that run the system. It starts with the people who are teaching their children, and those children are teaching their children not to fear black people, but to join hands with them, to build with them, to create a better world for our grandkids and their grandkids, and so on and so forth, so that we can eliminate the notion that all black people are dangerous or bad or should be avoided at all costs.
And do you think that white people think that about black people?
Yes, most definitely.
You think that too?
Most definitely, yeah.
What do you think white people think about black people?
That they're automatically dangerous, theft. It's just stay away from them. I feel like they think negative things. They automatically assume.
Say that again.
And we're all on welfare.
And what do you think white people in general think about black people?
I'm gonna agree with everyone.
You're agreeing with them?
Yeah, they like our culture, our food, our music. But when it comes to protecting us, I think that's where we lack. I think one thing I've noticed, is even changing the verbiage to not black and white, because black and white, it's meant to clash when we can just stick to just African Americans and Caucasians. Whereas the black and white people are meant to clash. So that way, I feel like if we change the verbiage to just African Americans, Caucasians, maybe that eliminates that aggressive, threatening.
What percentage of white people do you think are fearful of black people? Like, just if you would give a percentage.
It depends on where they live. It depends on where they live.
Like, where would it be high, where it be low?
I'm going to give you an
Sure.
example. Like Eminem, he was raised with black people. He fears no black people.
Yeah.
You can put him anywhere and we'll be like, oh, hey,
Madonna, too.
he's our friend. Versus Emily, who's been in the suburbs and
Who's
who's been in the suburbs and never seen us, she might be a little scared because of the TV and the news and what she's seen. Like, oh, they're scary people.
So-
Eminem been with us, so
Okay. So you told me what you think most black people think of white people. I know what white people think of black people. What do black people think of white people in general?
Okay, wait. Let's be for real here.
No. Did I ask a bad question? Did I ask? Is that a fair?
No, it's a fair question. For me in specific, I love all people. I that's just who I am, regardless of how certain people may feel. I believe that there's a lot of black people who harbor hate for what has happened in the past, and then that hate is passed on to their children, and they're taught to grow up to, I guess, hate white people. But I never bought into that, because there's a lot of white people that I know that are cool as fuck, that are blacker than me,
Yeah. Do you think a lot of black people don't like white people? Like, is it the majority of black people who don't like white people? What?
It's the white women more than anybody.
Oh, they don't like the white women.
It's them.
Why?
No, I'm not going to say it. I have white nieces.
Say anything you want. A free country.
But I will say the white women has been for centuries put up on this pedestal with their porcelain skin, like they are the picture of everything. This blonde lady with these blue eyes, this is what America loves. This is the blueprint of America.
So I have a question for you now. Do you think that young black men buy into that? Like, if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, he talks about a gold.
He had a white woman at first until he saw the light. He was dating a white
What's
woman.
the light?
The light. This light.
Oh, I
That was
see.
in my people light.
Okay.
That light.
You threw me for a loop there.
Yeah.
Islam?
No. Unity.
Oh,
It wasn't just about his religion. He loved his people, and he just wanted the best for our people. He loved our people. He never said he didn't like white people. He just loved his people. And when we love us so much, they take it as we don't like white people, when that's not so. We just love us. Like I saw on the internet today, well, y'all get a whole month. Well, y'all get a whole 11 months.
And you want to know what's interesting?
Oh, you mean Black History Month? Is that
beefing because we got
is-
one little month. That ain't nothing.
Okay, yeah.
What's interesting? Out of all of the months that they gave us the one with 28 days. The shortest one out of all of them.
Black history out, period, in Florida. They need to get him out of there.
Would you have been happy? I can't remember. There's some little trick to memorize how many days in the month, like 31 days past November. I can't remember what it is, but it's like April, June, and November. But anyway, I think didn't January have 31 days in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather that month be January than February? Because February is 28 days. You would rather be January?
No, we rather be like 6 months or the whole year. Why the whole year? Because we built the country. We feel like we should get more credit. So why not celebrate Black history all the time? What's the harm in it?
We celebrate white history all the time.
Yeah, because the only thing we was taught was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks in the books, and there's more to our culture than them 3 black people. And DeSantis want them out.
Hell, they don't even talk about George Washington Carver no more.
Oh, yeah. Hey, why do you think, or is it true, and I could be totally wrong about this, that a lot of black people are Democrats? Why do you think that is?
Well,
I'm generalizing. I'm not saying everybody.
I understand that. I really don't. I'm not too big into politics, so please take my words with a grain of salt. But from what I understand about the political system is that Democrats kind of favor the more lower to middle class people, and Republicans favor the more higher class people. Now, we just talked about earlier how the majority of black people are kind of on the lower class, so it kind of aligns that way, and I don't think it's purposeful.
So I just think about something she said. Do you think that if this question makes you uncomfortable, you have to answer it, obviously. Do you think that more young black men want to date white women or black women who are heterosexual? Well, you want to answer that, please?
Well, white women are easier. So
What do you mean
they go on the easier side because we're a lot to handle. We already running with a lot of emotions. We dealing with kids, single parentness, and all this other stuff. That's why they always say black women got attitudes, because we always got to save this country all the time. Think about history, it's always us. We save the world. So they go on that side because it's a little bit weaker and calmer.
It's easier.
It's a lot of flavor over here.
And what about black women? Do they want to, like if a black woman had a choice of an equally attractive man, would they prefer he be white, black, or doesn't make any difference?
Oh, black.
Black. She's black.
And how come?
Because I love my people. I will always be on the side of my people, regardless.
I'm gonna go with the same thing.
For me, I never got the chance to answer, but
Yeah, please.
I guess my short answer to that is different strokes for different folks. I feel like there's a percentage of black men that want to date white women, not really because of the anger that black women have or the spiciness or feistiness that black
Angry at who? Because of history?
no, just the world in general. I feel like there's a lot of pain on both sides for black men and black women. And when you put that pain together, sometimes it's hard to create a successful family in a well-oiled machine, so to speak, with a lot of trauma. A lot of black people bond off of that trauma.
Yeah, especially when economics are factored in, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, there's a certain percentage of people that just are attracted to white people or attracted to Puerto Rican people. For example, I have a Puerto Rican girlfriend, but it's not because I don't like black women. I love black women. But the thing is it's just, kind of where I fell into, and it's not no specific thing. No, I know, but see, you are correct, because there are those percentage of black men who specifically go after white women because they're more they're easier to submit. They're quicker to submit to a black man's word because they believe in I guess the whole gender role thing more than black women do. White women believe that they should submit to their husbands and I guess go with the flow and allow the black man to lead. And black women who are so independent these days believe that they can do all of that themselves. And why do I need you to lead when I can lead my own self? in my own family. Because think about all of the black women that raised multiple children by themselves. All of the single black women are they're superheroes practically. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is when you take all of that energy and all of that independence, and then another black man comes into the picture and he's saying, okay, now it's my time to lead. It's hard for a black woman who has been experiencing that her whole life to kind of set that aside and allow the black man to take the helm.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay, a couple more questions. You guys have been generous with your time. A couple more questions. This is a lot to take in. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have black friends, Peter?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Huh?
I can tell.
You can tell?
Yeah.
You guys have this conversation with them? Like,
Yeah, I have had this conversation. I can tell you a
Is your
super.
girlfriend black or white?
Which one? No, no, I'm kidding. That was a joke. That's a joke. As a joke. So I have two more questions. I'm trying to think about this. I'm trying to tell you. I'm thinking about in the back of my mind telling you this joke that my friend told me. It was totally inappropriate, but I'll tell you when the cameras are off. You'll love this joke. If you had $100 and you could give it to two kids, a black kid and a white kid, what do you think is the fair way to distribute that?
I'm gonna ask questions first. I'm not gonna just give it to you.
Okay,
I wanna
that's
know
fair.
what. 'Cause
Okay.
One boy might be eating out the trash can where he need the whole 100, versus the other one's got
Oh.
two parents in his home and he's
Like
fine.
Jaden Smith.
They're my friends. Be careful.
Oh my gosh, are they?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he was an example of a rich black kid.
Let's use one of LeBron James.
Okay, LeBron James's kids. $100, you got to distribute it.
I mean, you made a good point with asking questions, right?
different situations. It just depends on the
Yeah,
situation.
different
Yeah, different
situation.
situation.
Yeah.
Based off
Depends.
of need.
Yeah.
Off of need. Whoever needs it the most.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just ask one more thing. So, I have no idea how many people are going to watch this, but what I'd like to do is, I'd like to put something positive in the world, and so I'd like you to tell everybody. And I'm not saying you're like representing black people or anything, but
Right now we are.
right now you're
At
okay.
this moment we are.
Okay. What could you tell people who are not black for how to make the society better? More, and you could define better any way you want.
I
Like,
got you.
what yeah, so what would you like to tell people? Right from the heart.
Joe Biden, you giving Ukraine all this money and people in America are starving. Take care of your own people first and then help others. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
I would say for parents to raise your children in a light where differences are looked as being unique, so that way we can limit bulliness. But just being nicer to everyone.
Being nicer to everybody.
Yeah, respectful. Let's respect everyone's differences and what they have to offer.
Okay.
Don't automatically assume things about black people. That's what I have to say.
Don't just when you meet someone who's black, just go in just like you're meeting anybody else.
Yeah. Don't be stereotypic. Like, don't assume things. Oh, you're black, so you must like this, this, and that. You know?
Okay. I have another story that's funny about that too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Start with love.
I live in the ghetto.
Teach love.
Hey, listen, let him go here.
Teach love to your children. I'm not sure if you ever heard of the acronym Thug Life.
Yes.
The hate you give little infants F's everybody. And that's the truth. It's
For black and white.
for black and white. That this is a message to everybody. Start with love. We start with love, we'll end with love.
I love that, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
I want to piggyback off that love.
You can say anything you want.
'Cause
It's a
sometimes-
free country.
Sometimes love
Turn around though. Over here, everybody.
Sometimes love doesn't work. You can show love and you still get shitted on. With
Yeah. So
love.
what do you do in those cases?
Move on.
I have an answer. Can I answer that question? I think one of the things you can do is you can use the system that we have, run for office. It's
all
happened. Yeah, but are you you could run for office. She could run for office. Like you can start with but right. I mean you can build coalitions. You can start, I love what you said. You can start having conversations with people. Like, this is why I go around the world and do this.
This is a good idea.
Yeah,
It's
thank
almost
you.
like my game show I'm about to do. I
Yeah.
can't tell you because I.
Yeah, don't talk because you want me to steal it.
Yeah, and I will get you, Peter.
Yeah.
Ask white people about this?
I ask everybody, I have hundreds, I ask everybody. Well, I don't know. Well, this is a tough location. Maybe them, I don't know.
I wanted the Puerto Ricans that was walking down. I wanted them to answer it also.
Yeah, I think it's, here's what I think it starts with. The political office is a later thing, but I think the most important thing that we don't have now is listening to people. Nobody is fucking listening to anybody. And the other thing is nobody really knows how to have a conversation with everybody. They're trying to be offended, they're trying to be pissed off, they're trying to be like,
You know why? Because a lot of people don't care.
oh, totally. 100%. Yeah, and you know why they don't care? There's a lot of reasons why they don't care. They think, oh, you know, I'm so positive that I'm right. I don't need to talk to that person, or that person doesn't agree with me. They're, not that they're wrong, but that they're a bad person.
Right.
Right, that
And
they're a
they
bad
think that
person.
everybody is ignorant. You didn't ever have a conversation, so how do you know how that black person might react to what you asked?
Yeah.
You know, and I was told that one day a little white kid had got lost, right? And the mom was telling him, if you ever get lost, go ask that black man because he will help you.
You saw that lady during the storm in Buffalo help that white man? Have you
Oh,
seen it?
yeah.
She took care of him. We are just superheroes. I keep telling you.
Right. So I feel as though that should have not been told to your kid as a white person. Oh, if you run into a black man and you're lost, you should ask him for help, because that is true. Black people, we help everybody, no matter if it's a kid, if it's an adult. I'm talking about me per se. I helped so many people during my life that it's a shame because I don't get the same reciprocation from other people, whether it's black, white, Italian, no matter the race or the creed. It's just that some people are just not loyal. That's what it boiled down to.
Not love, loyalty.
Loyalty. Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks.